welcome to the video featuring my new lamp. Very excited about it. The lighting is better now. But, so here's the thing. I have decided that I like the mushroom mug plant, like randomly pick from my TBR. I like it. However, I have books that I really want to read this week that I'm just in the mood for them. So I'm going to read those this week, and we're not going to do the mushroom mug, but fear not, it is still a thing. So let me just say, okay, so I got a new job, right? And it's taking up a lot of my time. But I would still like to read, generally. I like to read. And so I'm going to do my best to try and read with work and school. I am on spring break this week, which is why I thought it would be best to try and do a video now, because I have nothing going on Thursday and Friday at least. And I think I have something going on Saturday. But I'm going to try and read as much as I can this week. I am also in the middle of Words of Radiance, which I have read before. But we're in my Fable book club, we're doing a read/reread of the Stormlight Archives, and we're on Words of Radiance. I stopped the Stormlight Archive in the middle of Oathbringer and then never picked it back up, and then someone suggested we start from the beginning, and I was like, you know what, good idea. Sorry, Seamus like bonked into the camera. It might be at a different angle now. I don't know. Anyway, so the books I'm reading this week are both on the Kindle. I would ideally like to have them physically at some point, especially the second book I'm going to show you, but we're going to finish Carl's Doomsday Scenario, which I'm very excited about. I stopped reading it at like halfway through, and I'm not really sure why. I wasn't feeling it. Like, it was getting kind of slow and repetitive, but I want to finish the series because I really like the seeds that were sprinkled in book 1. It's just 2 didn't grab my attention as much as book 1 did, and I think I was kind of expecting it to, and so that was kind of disappointing. So I stopped reading it, but I don't think I was disappointed because it's a bad book. I think I was disappointed because it was slightly different than book 1 and didn't engage me as quickly as book 1 did. But that's okay. All right. Ooh, this map is colored. And then second, I really want to read. I got this on. Yes. I got this on the Kindle a little while ago. It was on sale. And it's one of those books that I feel like if you're into fantasy, you should probably read it. Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. So I think I'm probably going to start today with Dungeon Crawler Carl and put on like a show in the background or something, because I worked from I got up at like 6:30 this morning to go to work. I was supposed to get up at 5:30 just so I could have some time to prepare. I had work at 7, but I didn't do that. So I'm a little tired. I only worked for 5 hours, but I work with dogs now, and some of them are high energy. I'm going to start with Dungeon Crawler Carl, and tomorrow I think I will film my February wrap-up and get that edited and out at some point, because I have work tomorrow too. I'm part-time, but like aggressively part-time. Spooky. But like I work a lot, and then I also have like 5 classes that I'm doing, so I figured spring break would be a good time to film a vlog, because I don't have a lot of time on my hands anymore. Sorry, the camera, he's got an egg he's playing with. Not a real egg, just a little pink squishy ball that we call an egg because I think it came in an Easter basket. Speaking of Easter basket, bunny, eggs, I don't get it. Anyway, that's totally random. I don't understand. So I'm probably gonna put on, like, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't put on a show. We'll see. We'll see. But that is the plan for today. I'm going to make Sun Butter Energy Bites later. I'll take you along with me if I remember. And I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. So let's get started. Hello, it is Tuesday morning, and I'm here with a couple reading updates for you. As you can see, I am reading. So I am, I think, 75, 3/4 of the way through Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is pretty good. I was like halfway through when I started this video. Not Dungeon Crawler Carl, Carl's Doomsday Scenario. I was about halfway through when I started this video, so I've read a little bit more of that. And I am, let me see, according to my Kindle, I am 16% of the way through Assassin's Apprentice. I'm on page 71. It's the beginning of chapter 4. So not very far in that one, but it is a lot shorter than I thought it was. It's only like 450 pages. I thought it was way bigger than that. It's also apparently the illustrated edition that I have on my Kindle, so that's been fun. And I have to say, okay, so Assassin's Apprentice, right? I knew basically next to nothing about how this book was written, how this story played out. Like, I knew it was about Fitz, who was a prince's bastard, and he's obviously becoming an assassin's apprentice. And that's pretty much all I knew. I didn't know anything about the magic system. I didn't know anything about, you know, the narration style. I didn't know anything about Robin Hobb's writing, who I think Robin Hobb is a pen name as well. But yeah, so I was going in almost completely blind to this book. And I have to say, I think that was the right way to do it because I'm having such a fun time with it. And I think if I'd known a little bit more about how it was told, like if I knew a little bit more about Robin Hobb's writing, if I knew a little bit more about the magic system or the story or the plot or the vibes of the characters, I think I would have been a lot less interested, perhaps? I don't know. But like, it's the same thing with like the Mistborn and the Stormlight Archives, is that part of the fun is just discovering how this world works and how this system works and who all these characters are. And so I think I like doing that with like high epic fantasy, where I'm just like, I'm going in almost completely blind. I just know that it's a really popular series and that I wanted to read it. Like, and I think that was the right way to go about it because I am having a really good time. You will see that I read earlier one part where I was like, what the fuck? Was not expecting that. that was very upsetting. But yeah, like it's going so well so far, and I'm really enjoying myself. And then Carl's Doomsday Scenario is also fun. I don't really remember a lot of the names of people that I think I'm supposed to remember the names of, just because there's so many. Like, there's so much information being thrown at you all the time, and then Carl will be like, oh yeah, like that one boss that we fought, and I'm like, I remember exactly 2 of those bosses, man. Like, oh, and the pig guy. I remember the pig guy. I forget what he was called. The one that was like all the mating orcs that were in a ball. I don't know. I forgot about that. Oh my god. But it's going. I think this is maybe not going to be my favorite book out of the series, but I'm hoping the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook sounds like a really good book, and honestly at this point I'm just trying to get to that one. But yeah, Dungeon Crawler Carl, when that thing happened at one of the interviews, like a little more than halfway through the book, that was crazy. I'm trying not to spoil anything. Is it working? Also, I got a curl refreshing spray. Did it work? Let me know. It looks worse, I feel like, in the camera than it does in the mirror. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say. I made sun butter energy balls the other day, or energy bites. I don't like calling them balls. It seems weird. Or maybe I do like it because it's weird. Anyway, I made them the other day and they're really delicious. It's got like a cup of maple syrup in it, so of course they're good. But yeah, hot tip. Sun butter has the same amount of protein as peanut butter. They're really good. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. It's like 8 in the morning. So I'm gonna go have some breakfast and I will see y'all later. I tried brushing my hair and using the Revivify curl cream, not cream, spray, and I'm not sure it worked, so I kind of look like Hermione Granger, but that's not important right now. What's important right now is that I'm adding another book to the vlog because I am in a sad mood and I need something light and something where dogs don't die. I'm looking at you, Robin Hobb. That's a trigger warning, by the way, not a spoiler. I feel like it's important to know that there's animal death in Assassin's Apprentice. I was not aware of that. Yeah, so if you're gonna read Assassin's Apprentice, just beware that there is a dog and the dog does die. Out of nowhere. My dog was sitting right next to me when I read that and I just cuddled him for like 5 minutes because that made me sad. Anyway, I'm adding a new book to the vlog. It is The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore because I am sad and I want a romance. And this is on Kindle Unlimited, and I made a cinnamon brown sugar coffee today to go with the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. So I'm gonna take a day and just sort of rest and recuperate, because it's been a week. So I don't know what this is about other than a bookstore that maybe sells cinnamon buns, and also It's a Romance in the Dream Harbor series, which I've read the Christmas Tree Farm before, and it was exactly what I expected from this series. Like, little bit of spice, not a little bit of romance, a lot of bit of romance, not a lot of plot. So that's kind of the vibe I want right now. So I'm adding another book, and yell at me in the comments, I don't care. So the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, because bookstore. I could have gotten any of them, and I know I'm reading them out of order, but I don't care. I don't have another, I don't care. I don't read romances in order generally, like interconnected romances in order. I don't tend to read them that way because I don't think it's that important to read them in order. It's not like you're gonna get spoiled. Remind me to tell you about the time I read the Heroes of Olympus series out of order, because that was fun. But that's where I'm at right now. I love that there's a little map in this, as though we need a map of Dream Harbor. That amuses me. But also it is kind of convenient to have a map of Dream Harbor, just to know where all these inconceivable small businesses are. There's a pet shop. I don't think we've gotten that story yet. There's a marina? I didn't know that. Well, Dream Harbor, okay, of course there's a marina. That's stupid. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna get to reading. There's a playlist in the front. I probably won't know any of the songs. Yeah, this is all like Girl in Red. Anyway, yeah, I know Too Sweet by Hosher. I know There She Goes by The Laws because of Gilmore Girls. A lot of this is Taylor Swift, and I'm so sorry, I don't listen to Taylor Swift. Guess who I listen to? I'm wearing a band t-shirt right now, in case that wasn't obvious. Okay, anyway, let's get into it. My tea is steeped, and I am ready for an update. First off, I would like to apologize. I went to the bookstore today and I didn't get any footage. That's my bad. However, I did go to the bookstore, which means I have a book haul. And let me just put this down so I don't spill anything all over my new pretty books. Let's get to the haul. Okay, so I bought, well, technically I bought 7 books. I bought a box set for relatively cheap for a box set, I think. So technically I did buy 7 books, but to me I only bought 4 books. So first up, I bought a Lord of the Rings box set. I'm gonna read this at some point, I promise. But it's very cute. It all says The Lord of the Rings, and then it's got the title down here. They're so wee. They're like the size of my hand, and I have small hands. So they're tiny. They're like, I would call them mass market paperbacks, but they're not, I don't think. Very excited to get this one open. I have never read the Lord of the Rings books, So I was sort of seized by a wild hair today, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy The Fellowship of the Ring. And then I was like, you know what? It's probably cheaper to buy a box set. So I did. That maybe was silly of me. I don't care though. And then another thing that was also probably silly of me was this one, Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson, because as I've told you, we are doing a reread in my Fable book club of the Stormlight Archive / a regular read, and we're only on Words of Radiance, so I have to finish my reread of Words of Radiance, finish Oathbringer for the first time, read Dawnshard, and then I can read this. So she's gonna be sitting on my TBR for a while. Also, she doesn't match my other copies. She's much, much larger. But that's okay, because Shalon is on the cover, and I love her. Where's that? No, that's definitely Shalon. Yeah. Ah, I love her. Who's that on the back? That Adolin? Adolin? However you say that? And anyway. So that was kind of silly of me, but I wanted it, so that's where we're at. And then I just kind of randomly grabbed this one. The cover is very vibrant, and I don't know, it just something drew me to it. I think it was actually the little author of Diary of a Void, because that's been on my radar for a while and I've wanted to read that. But this is essentially, this woman gets a job at a museum talking to this statue of the goddess Venus, and she like comes to life essentially, and the museum's curator wants to like have Venus, I guess because she's, you know, a goddess or whatever. I don't know. It just seemed really interesting. It's super short. I don't know. It sounds really good, so I'm excited. And then I had to pick this one up too. I have seen many people talking about this. It's also got like metallic fuchsia edges, but I've seen so many people talking about this and it sounded super interesting, and it was $5 off. So this one, Graceless Heart by Isabel Ibanez, is about a girl named Ravenna. And it takes place in Italy, I believe, and there was something about the Pope, and like she's fighting the Pope. So I don't know, I just found it funny. And there's like a map on the inside. Oh my god, I didn't look at this. That's gorgeous. Oh my god. Okay, now I'm really glad I bought this. That's so pretty. Is there something on the other end? Hang on, let me see. I doubt it. I just wanna, no, there's not. Oh my god, that's so pretty though. Okay. All right, I'm done. Anyway, that's my book haul. I also finished 2 books since I've talked to you last. So I finished Carl's Doomsday Scenario and I finished The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, and I enjoyed them both. Carl's Doomsday Scenario I gave 4 stars, and Cinnamon Bun Bookstore I gave 3.75. Carl's Doomsday Scenario definitely picked up in the last like 50 to 75% of it. I think it was a lot more captivating than the first half, and despite my not knowing the names of a lot of the people that Carl kept talking about, because there are simply so many of them, I did manage to follow the plot, more or less. I'm not 100% confident on what happened with that guy in the very end. Remek, I think his name was. I'm not sure. I know kind of what was happening there, but I feel like I missed something. But that might just be me making things up. Or maybe it'll get revealed in the next book, or like several books from now, because they were like, it's important on the 10th floor. And I'm like, that's so many away. They're on like the 4th floor now or something. Ugh. Anyway, so I enjoyed Carl's Doomsday Scenario. I like the shout out to the title. I love when books do that. I think it's so funny. Well, sometimes I do. Other times I'm like, this is cheesy. But I liked that the book was called what it was because of the thing. I'm trying not to spoil. It's not really going well, but there's a reason the book is called that, obviously. and I didn't know until the very end, like until the end, why it was called that, and I liked finding out, I guess. Overall, probably not going to be my favorite Dungeon Crawler Carl book, but I did enjoy it by the time I wrapped it up, and Donut is so funny. She's my favorite. I love her. And then I finished Cinnamon Bun Bookstore as well, and that one was exactly what I was wanting out of the book, which was just a silly little time. You know, I wasn't expecting anything groundbreaking. I wasn't expecting to, you know, have my mind blown. I just kind of wanted something where I didn't have to think very much, and I kind of got exactly that. I do have to say, there wasn't a lot of genuine distress or plot. Like, I didn't understand any of the issues the characters were having not stating their feelings. I was like, you can just tell her, like, it doesn't matter. You're way overreacting. There didn't really seem to be a reason for them not to tell each other they wanted to be together, and so it just kind of felt like manufactured miscommunication. I don't know. There wasn't any like miscommunication. It was just they didn't communicate, and there was no reason for them not to communicate. I think it didn't make a whole lot of sense. However, I enjoyed it. Kind of. It was okay. It was what I wanted. And what I wanted was an okay book that I didn't have to think about too hard and that I could forget when I put it down. That sounds bad. It sounds bad, but it, like, I didn't have a bad time. It's just, it was okay. I liked Christmas Tree Farm better, I think. Thank you, sir. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say for now. I am going to hopefully finish Assassin's Apprentice if I have the motivation to do so, or this could be the end of the video, I don't know. But that's that for now. I'm gonna go put these on my little TBR cart, and I will see you later.